All right, this is a very exciting lesson because this is the first time that you're going to put some of the things into a website that actually make it exciting, which are images. So you're going to be able to grab photos or images from anywhere on the web, or upload your own photos eventually. You're not going to do that in this lesson, but you'll be able to grab photos off the web and add them to your website. So we're going to focus on the image tag today. And I'm just going to go over a little bit of this to start, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. First off, you're going to say tell the browser that you're going to give it an image. Okay. Then you're going to give it some attributes. Remember attributes from some of our earlier lessons. You're going to tell what the title of that image is, which is what text is going to show up if somebody moves their mouse over the image. You're going to tell your website where on the entire internet that image is located. Okay, and that's what's cool about that, is that as long as an image is available on the web on some computer somewhere, then you can reference it and have it show up in your website. And that's pretty fun because then you can go find images and include them on your website. And then you're also going to tell how the size of the image, and that's what we're going to do right now. So let's go. Again, try it yourself. You see our old friend, the template. And let's take a look at our assignment. What we're going to do is we're going to add an image that comes from a specific website, and we'll go over here and get this image. We're going to use the height and width attributes to make it smaller than its normal size. You could also make it larger. We're going to give it a title, and then after we do all that, then I'm going to let you go out and find your own image, and I'm going to show you how you can get what's called the address of that image, the location of that image, and you can add it to your own site. So let's start here. First off, we come in here, give ourselves a little bit of room, and we're going to create the image tag. All right, we're going to use our same, remember the kind of habit that we want to build, which is creating the tag. So we're going to create our tag, and really at that point, there's nothing there. Okay, there's nothing good there. But what we need to do first is we need to give the image a source, because the source is really the key thing about the image. What we're doing, if you remember how we talked about up here, well, I can't really do it. I guess we can do it here. Up here on the website, this is saying going to this computer and then going into this folder of this computer and then going and grabbing this page, and this page has all the code that makes this this document on this computer over here, makes this page look the way it looks, right? So what we're doing right now is we're not worried about getting a page, we're worried about getting an image. So we need to know what computer is it on. In this case, it's the FortHuntParent.com computer. What folder is it in which case this is the Academy folder. And then what is the name of the image. And images usually are called, instead of being .html, they're .jpg or they're .gif or something like that. But what you need to do is find out what the name of the image is. If you're uploading your own images, then you know what they're called. You'll be able to see them. And I'll show you how we grab them in the future. But right now, let's just assume that we know that there is an image out there that has this address. Okay? Actually, let me just show you briefly how that works. So if I come down here, this is an image, okay? And I right-click on that image, and do you see where it says copy image location? So I can copy that image location, and watch what happens. I right-click, and this tells me that image, this little header down here, is located at HTTP. This is the computer name on this folder, this subfolder, and it's called myobk footer.jpg. Okay, so what's cool about it is that if we can find an image on the internet, we can go and get it, and we are going to do that in a little bit. But I have an image already for you, so we're going to grab this image, and I'm going to copy it. Okay, and this is a location of an image. Obviously, that's not an image; that's text, right? That's a location of an image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in SRC, and that stands for source. So that says what is the location of that image, and I'm going to click give myself quotations, and then I paste the image into that, or the location into that source. And that's all I have to do. If I click Show Web Page, you can see that that image now shows up there. Okay? So I'm going to come here and click Edit. And now what I want to do is I want to make that image a little bit smaller. That was pretty big. So what I'm going to do, the next attribute that I'm going to put in is I'm going to put in the height. So I type in height equals blank and width equals blank. Now, one thing to be aware of, this is something where you just want to experiment. Put in different heights, put in different widths. If you change the height of an image, sometimes the width will change automatically, so you might not have to specify what the width is, but it's not a bad habit to just put those in. So what I'm going to do is put in height equals 100 and width equals 100. And what you should be asking yourself is, well, wait, Mr. O'Leary, what are you talking about? Is it 100 feet? Is it 100 inches? It's 100 what's called a pixel. And pixels are measurements in a website. And you're going to see how big 100 pixels is and 100 pixel height and 100 pixel width is in a second. But you can use that as a framework, and then you just go up and down by that. So Show Web Page, you can see that I made it much smaller. So this is about 100 pixels high and 100 pixels wide. You can also notice that it kind of distorted it a little bit because I made it, if I just made it 100 pixels high and deleted that width, then it makes it the right height and it doesn't distort it and try to make it wider. That's something that you're just going to have to experiment with. All right? So that gives you an absolute size, and you can make it, as you can see, you can make it 500 as its height, make it much bigger, and you can do all that sort of thing. So you want to just take an image and make it smaller or bigger based on your choice. Now the last attribute that I'm going to give you here is what's called the title. So the title is what was going to show up if somebody rolls their mouse over the image. I'm going to do O'Leary because I don't know what happens with that apostrophe. O'Leary Family Crest. So I click Show Web Page, and now so it's the same thing, right? It's a big image, but watch what happens when I put my mouse over. And a text comes up, and that's what somebody sees when they move their mouse over the image. All right? All right, so the key attributes are source, which is the location, http:// this is the URL, then the height and width if you want to, and then the title, which is what shows up when you roll over it. All right? So now what I want to do is just show you again how to go find an image. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just pull this down a little bit, and I'm going to go to Disney. And I'm going to grab an image, okay? So if I right-click over it, you see I have these choices. If you're working with a different browser, you might get different choices, but you're looking for something like copy image location or get the image location. Let me know if you can't figure out what this is. So I click copy image location. What that does is it's going to copy the actual location of that video. And watch, I'll just show you what it looks like. So if I paste that right there, you can see we get some crazy language. It's this computer, it's this folder, it's that name, you know, nothing, not meaningful. But if I take that and go back to our site, let's do it from scratch. Image, right? And then come in here and give it the attribute, source equals, and then what I'm going to do is put my location in here. This was the file that the website told me that location is, and I'm going to click Show Web Page. So look, it gives it to me in a large size. So what I want to do is I want to change that and make it height equals 200, let's say. A little bit better, a little bit easier to read. All right. So those are the assignments that you want to do. First, add this image to your web page. Then use the height and width attributes to make it smaller. Then I want you to give it a title so that a name shows up when you move your